Community gardens are springing up all around the country, and as more and more people plant, cultivate, weed, harvest, and clear their gardens, the problem of garden waste is easily solved through composting. We're at Fort Tilden Community Garden on Rockaway Peninsula in Queens, New York, part of the National Recreation Area, and we're about to set up a compost bin. I'm Annie Hauck-Lawson, Brooklyn College professor, author, and master composter. I'm here with Ranger John.
On behalf of the National Park Service, welcome to Gateway National Recreation Area. We're located at the opening to New York Harbor between the Atlantic Ocean and Jamaica Bay, an exciting place to fish, walk, bike, you name it. Athletic activities, art, and theater are all here in Gateway NRA.
This spring, the gardeners asked me to give some thought to help them get their compost system going. And what we've come up with is a 3-bin system that we're going to build today. Let's go take a look.
All right, we're just a hair over. Actually, I think we're there. We're just
How deep?
24 inches.
With no budget, the Rangers relied on found objects for the materials for this compost bin. They came up with recycled plastic lumber. The advantage of this is that it wears like iron. So using it as a building material will give this compost system many years of serviceable life. Once the corner uprights are sunk in and secure, we screw on the cross slats and use the edge of one as a spacer. An electric drill and the pre-cut lumber makes smooth work here. Later on, we'll get even more air into the bin with a wired chimney and by periodically turning the pile. We finished one of the outside bin walls with the air slats. We've got 5 more of them to go, including the 3 doors in the front. We've also got 2 section dividers that need to go up that will enable us to have our 3-bin system to get this compost working for the garden. You can see that things are really starting to take shape, but even before the compost bin is done, there are gardeners that are eager to make contributions. Michael here has harvested his broccoli, and all of the trimmings are ready to go.
So here's the door. It's a simple door with 6 horizontal slats spaced enough so that we can get air through here, with 2 vertical members on either side, which is the main structure, but we've also got an extra cross piece here to make sure it's stable and it won't slide. The door is pretty heavy, so we've got some heavy-duty hinges here that are going to hold it on. And we're going to put this door on the first bin on the far left so that the hinges swing out. The identical door to this one will be on the far right bin with a hinge on the opposite side. And the center bin is going to be bolted on so it can be removed completely.
We're finally ready to start loading the bin, and we've got a variety of materials to do that. Then I'm going to feed in some straw that's going to be a good base to bring lots of air into this compost pile. I've got a bag of old garden debris that's been sitting around for a couple weeks. It's moist, and I'll put that on top of the straw and mix it around. We've got this whole garbage can full of garden scraps that are going to go into the compost bin, and my ranger friends are going to help do that. At this point, I'm going to add in some water. Water is really important in the decomposition process. The top of the bin is going to be open to the elements and get rained on, but down here towards the bottom, water is really important in the breakdown process. The National Park Service has horses as part of its personnel, and one of their byproducts is the manure that accumulates in the stables here. Horse manure is an element that really heats up the bin and helps in the cooking process. And so we're making sure to give a very healthy dose. In fact, I'm just going to turn this whole wheelbarrow of horse manure in. Got a wheelbarrow full of garden trimmings and also some old sunflower seed hulls after the birds have been eating them. We're going to start to work that material in. Ideally, the contents of a bin should be as small as possible, but what's important here is to get the community gardeners into just the idea of allocating their garden waste into this bin rather than putting it into the garbage bin. So for the time being, we're not going to be asking people to cut up what they pull out of their gardens. Rain is predicted for tomorrow, but it's really hot today. So I'm going to toss in a little bit of water on the top, and we're essentially good to go. Very shortly, this pile is going to be teeming with worms, breaking down the materials. But just for good luck, we're going to toss in a pile of worms just to get this going. Well, it looks like the Fort Tilden compost bin is off to a really good start. I'd like to thank Rangers John, Steve, and Thaddeus. I'm Annie Hauck-Lawson, Brooklyn College professor, author, and master composter.